What's up, everybody? It's your boy Reggie, casual friend of casual.co. I told you guys we were going to do this unscripted thing, and we are continuing to do that and bringing you creatives and YouTubers and content creators, all those kind of people from around just the metaverse, can I say? Can I say that yet? Probably. Maybe, I don't know. I don't get it. But I wanted to bring you somebody that you probably know, you should know, that is a big friend of the channel, big fan of the channel, but also a big friend to the channel. He's basically family. My boy, you know who he is. That boy,
let me get the horn. Let me get the
my bad. Keezy.
Boom!
Keezy, we have sound effects now. That's crazy. You know? So yeah. Keezy asked for his own horn. Just show you how this is gonna end up. What up, man? Oh, it's great having you, bro. Like, we talked about this for like a year and a half, right? Like 2 years. I was like, yo, we're gonna do the video cast. You're like you and Ayo was always making fun of me. I was like, yeah, man, you said that, but it never happened. So
yeah, it was so actually after. It was, you said that right after we did that live, all three of us, remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. I did say that. I did say it.
It was let me see, Jennifer. It was like April or something, April or May or something.
April of 2021. Yeah, like I'm slow, man. I
no, that might have been 2020, my G. that might
have been COVID time. That might have been the early days of COVID.
In the live, we were all talking about like, how's COVID for everyone?
That's right. Yeah, it might have been 2020.
It was a while ago.
It was a while ago. My bad. Yo, with that being said,
time just went like this now.
I don't even know. Like the whiskers coming in and they not coming in black anymore, bro. Like it's it's tough. Cassius is talking about it's like, yo, man, is that some salt and pepper in the beer right there? Like, yo, man, I just got it bad, bro. I just got it bad.
I was trying to do the vintage look.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, every year we get older. This is like the longest intro because Keezy is the guy. He's funny. He's a funny dude. All right? So with that being said, dude, like, it's a great segue because you talked about how we were supposed to do it and all of us are on YouTube. Like, we're all YouTubers, so to speak. I don't like saying YouTubers because it sounds ridiculous, but we're content creators. That's like the formal way to say it. So I wanted to ask you, because it's something that I've been thinking about for a long time, about the state of YouTube fashion. Because we're entering into this era of, we're entering the digital era, the metaverse, digital products. And now you got so many people who are coming to YouTube trying to make their own content, trying to start their own, YouTube channels, a lot of them about fashion and just this world. But things have changed like a lot. So what do you think, where do you think like the state of YouTube fashion is right now? And where do you believe that it's headed? First, there's a two-part question. I want you to answer the first. What do you think about the state of YouTube fashion right now, as it were?
The state of, like, are you asking in regards of like how well is it doing?
How well is it doing? How do you feel about it? Do you see like positive prospects, negative? Is it kind of neutral?
I'll say this because I know this conversation normally, and we're probably gonna talk about later, but this conversation normally goes towards like, people, how they look down on YouTubers and whatever, like that conversation. But I think it switched a little bit after TikTok came out, because TikTok, like when TikTok happened, the boom of TikTok, was that during COVID?
Yeah,
like
definitely during COVID.
Yeah, the minute COVID happened and then TikTok came out, blew up. It's still blowing up right now. Like, people were looking at YouTube as corny, and people probably still do. But when TikTok came out, I'm not dissing nobody because it's the same amount of work ethic or whatever. But like, I think people looked at TikTok like, oh shit, the same way people looked at YouTube back then, and we're like, oh, that shit is corny, whatever. But it kind of made us look a little better. And on top of that, I've now seen TikToker, even in the fashion space, now they're like, oh, I want to do YouTube. Like I want to switch and I want to do that instead. because maybe you can monetize better. I don't know, but
I think I honestly think it's just the official nature of YouTube. Like TikTok it has basically turned into like the beginning, and YouTube is more like production. So like there's a clear difference between. I mean, of course you could produce on TikTok, but there's a clear difference between like TikTok and YouTube, right? Like YouTube is less showcasey than it used to be. It's more like, yo, you got to know something, right?
It's more
like,
mature.
Definitely. I definitely would say that.
And even the audience has matured. I mean, they're the same. It is the same, but not the same audience. But I think the audience has grown with YouTube and over the years. And TikTok is like so new that, again, I think it's the mentality. People are looking at that like, I don't know about this one, but there's gonna be a new app after that.
I think we all are, Keezy. I think we all are. Like listen, my content manager, he's younger than I, right? So he's been just hammering me about, yo, bro, you gotta get on short form content. You gotta get on like TikTok. You gotta get on. And I'm just like, yo, it's just too much for me, right? Like it's too much. But then it's like, yo, you ain't gotta do it like somebody, like, you ain't gotta dance and prance around like you crazy. I mean, but you could find a way to be a part of it because you got cats on there who don't even have the stuff that you have that are getting like 300,000 views. He's like, I saw a dude with some dirty jeans on showing a fit, and he was just like, 300,000 views, clean. Like, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty major. Like, I mean,
yeah, I think the apps. Give me a second here.
You good? You good?
Sorry about that.
No, you're all good.
Hello.
Businessman.
Okay.
See that he got to keep his line on.
Okay, bye.
Yo, I'm totally letting everybody see that. Like that's not gonna get cut.
And just no, that was a sound effect. We just
I pressed the button. I just
press the horn right now.
That's all it was.
Okay. But I was gonna say, I didn't lose my train of thought. What I was gonna say is that I find it interesting that like TikTok and YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, they're always competing, even though some of them own each other, but they're always competing like, oh, YouTube got to be the short form content. The short form content got to be the longer content. It's like, bro, like they can all exist. They can all exist. I mean, as many people has been telling you to be like, oh, you should get on TikTok. I get the same thing. People are like, oh, you missing the boat. I'm like, bitch, I didn't miss so many boats before in my life. I missed the YouTube boat.
For real, I did too. Yeah. I was late to YouTube. Yeah.
You feel me?
Sure.
Like the real boat for YouTube was like 2012, 2014. You know what I mean? Like,
I wasn't on YouTube during that. I was on it, but I wasn't serious about it for sure. And I was doing something completely different. Yeah, like it was.
Yeah, it's totally different. But taking it like as an actual career, like it matured differently. So, but like I don't know. I think they can all exist, and you don't always have to feel pressured to switch your entire whatever. Like you don't have to. If people like your content, they like your content. That's it. Doesn't matter. It's
just all about being consistent, really. Like just understanding, just put out stuff. If I were to give anybody any advice on YouTube, just in general, besides fashion, it's just like find out something you want to talk about and talk about it. Like know what you're talking about and be concise. Because I see a lot of people who start YouTube and they be like, yo, can you check out my channel? And I check it out and they just like talking. Like there's so much more, like they have so much in their head and they want to make sure that they say everything. But I'm gonna tell you like this, man, most people don't even want to hear what I have to say. All right? They be clicking off at like 4 minutes. They be like, all right, whatever he said after this ain't nothing, right? Like, I see how long y'all watch the videos. Don't act like I'm looking at the analytics. Like, man, they cut off right at there. Okay. So I gotta do something about that. I see that dip, like it just dips, just lower than you think. So like whenever the Squarespace ad comes in, it's like blue blue.
Jeez. Oh, damn.
I ain't gonna lie, I mean, shout out to Squarespace, but yeah, you see it. But specifically, fashion. Where is fashion at? Just YouTube in general, right? Because what I saw. Just so I can preface it, so I can prepare you. what I saw was there was this kind of shift in 2019, like 2018, 2019, this shift towards more knowledge-based content in fashion, less than like showcase. So this kind of like knowledge dump, and where you still had the players, right? The big guys out there, the big guns. We know who they are. We ain't got to mention them right now, but you still had them. But then you had this new swath, the THECASUAL, Keezy, Bliss Foster. You had Ayo, Fashion Roadman, Fashion Archives. You know what I'm saying? Like you had this Brave New Wear. You have THECASUAL is out there. All these new players out there that are more education based. I'm wondering if they were at the cusp of a wave, but because of COVID, it kind of jacked everything up because not that many people are really paying attention as much anymore to some of these brands. I don't think so. I still think people want the knowledge.
I see what you're saying.
I don't think it's as fervent as it once was. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It like matured, and then there were a lot of people doing it, and then it kind of simmered a little bit. I mean, to be real, I mean, if everyone kept going with that, of like, it's so like granular of like the information on each piece and whatever, it's like at the end of it, like I think the overwhelming majority, the outside crowd, they don't care about that. They don't really. I don't think so. Like, unless it's very like specific. Like if I sat here, I mean, like I usually do, and talk about Babestas and the history and whatever. The people that love Babestas, they're gonna love that, right? But I don't know. Like, not if you keep going with that. I don't. As far as view count goes, if that's what we're gonna talk about, and like how well an actual video does with that kind of information, I'm not sure.
I don't think people
it's almost like
how...
watching the history. Huh?
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, it's almost like watching the History Channel, like, except fashion, and then you sit there and you're like, damn, this is a lot of fucking knowledge, right? Yeah, like, I don't know if I want to keep, like, what else is there? What other fun part is, like, not that that's not fun. It's like, I don't know.
It's all about application, right? Like, it's good to know about fashion. I talked to Landy about this. It's like, it's good to know about fashion, but it ultimately ends up with, I want to participate, right? Like I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Like I want to know about it because I'm probably gonna buy it or I'm gonna be a part of it. And I think that's where it really dawned on us. It was like, yo, okay, so our thing is Japanese fashion, but a lot of people can't get it. So really, they're just looking at it and being like, oh, that's cool, right? I guess. But then it was like we also have the business thing, and so we were like, yo, we got to start teaching people because. If people aren't gaining anything except,
I'm beyond you're R2D2ing, like it's there.
Bad now? It's bad now?
Yeah, I think it might. Maybe it might record it different on your end, but I'm just letting you know. So it already happened twice. I was gonna say it earlier, but I'm like, eh.
Hey, you know what? What's really funny about this? You probably hear it, but I just realized that it's recording off of my comp. So whatever you hear. It's not recorded. It's not going to be recorded.
Okay, good. Perfect then. We're fine.
Yeah.
Sound the horn! Sound the horn!
Yo, I am so late on this. I'm so late on it. That was a moment right there. Y'all don't understand. Keezy should be on the board right now, right? Like, I just realized this because we had a conversation about me being R2D2 on this. See how close he got to the camera? But then I realized, I was like, wait a minute. It's only he would hear that, right?
Because I'm just saying, because on my YouTube channel, I've had it like that, and man, I've watched it back. I'm like, oh man,
I should have never released that video, right? No.